which none could reject and none could accept. The last personality here is Bishop George Berkeley, who propounded the theory of esse percipi, to exist is to be perceived. After abolishing matter, Berkeley is only saved from complete subjectivism by the use of God, which most subsequent philosophers has regarded as illegitimate in terms of conclusion. All in all, the empiricists rely on sense, experience, as the key source of knowledge, and that there is nothing in the intellect which was not first in the senses. Aristotle. Idealism. One popular feature of modern philosophy is the re-emergence of idealism fueled by the German idealists. Idealism is any doctrine which holds that reality is fundamentally mental in nature. Kant is considered to be one of the greatest thinkers in modern philosophy. Some of his popular works include Critique of Pure Reason, Critique of Practical Reason, and Prolegomena to any future metaphysics. His distinction between a priori and a posteriori knowledge is very significant. He is further acknowledged for his distinction between analytic cum synthetic proposition, which culminated in his Copernican revolution, and his contribution in the sphere of morality, which references to the doctrine of categorical imperative cannot be overstressed. Kant's general philosophical outlook opened the way for the emergence of German idealism, which flowered in the system building of Hegelianism. Hegel's philosophy, like those of other German idealists, is highly speculative, abstract, and difficult to understand. His magnum opus is titled The Phenomenology of the Mind. It is the phenomenal description of consciousness as it objectifies itself in objective reality. He sees reality as dialectically progressive, historically comprehensive, and synthetically holistic. It is not possible to conclude this section on modern philosophy without making reference to the dialectical historical materialism of Karl Marx, which seeks to usher in a socialist revolution to redress socio-economic exploitation and man's inhumanity to man. For Marx, philosophers have only interpreted the world differently. The point, however, is to change it. Towards the end of the modern period, a new current of thought arose to fight the systematization, functionalization, and abstraction in philosophy. This current is called existentialism. The existentialists include figures like M. Heidegger, J.P. Sartre, F. Nietzsche, Kierkegaard, G. Marcel, M. Boba, A. Camus, and K. Jaspers, etc. The common trend for them is that existence precedes essence. Contemporary period. This period is characterized by the age of analysis. The contemporary period represents various philosophic trends or orientations. For example, the British neo-idealism, the analytical school, which is an amalgamation of logical atomism, logical positivism, and linguistic school of Wittgenstein. Towards the terminus of the 19th century, neo-idealism, which was largely a positive revival of Hegelianism, was resurrected and became prominent, especially in Britain. Notable philosophers here were Thomas Hill Green, James Mark Taggart, Bernard Banquet, and Herbert Bradley. The logical atomism of G.E. Moore and B. Russell, the logical positivism of the Vienna cycle, and linguistic philosophy emerged as a direct reaction to neo-idealism. J.E. Moore attacked the neo-idealist with his defense of common sense view of reality. Russell reduced philosophy to mathematics and logic and discredited the common sense view of reality as nothing but naive realism. The main thrust of the argument of the logical positivist is that genuine knowledge about the world can only be attained by means of scientific methods. In this vein, metaphysical and religious speculations were disqualified as knowledge. Their propositions were declared meaningless since they cannot be verified to be true or false. The most important principle of meaningfulness, according to this school, is the verification principle. Wittgenstein's philosophy should not be forgotten here. For him, the function of philosophy should be the logical clarification of thought. All philosophical problems are linguistic in nature, and these problems can be solved if we analyze language and put it in its logical structure. Mention must also be made to American pragmatic philosophy, championed by C.S. Peirce, developed by William James, introduced as part of functional educational curriculum by John Dewey and propagated today by Richard Rorty. The crux of pragmatic arguments is that what is true is what works in practice, or what is expedient is our way of thinking. Post-contemporary period. The post-contemporary period characterizes the present state of philosophy. Previously, as we have noted, it seems to be the hallmark of philosophers to discredit their predecessors in order to establish what they presuppose to be better position. In fact, modern contemporary philosophies are littered with very extreme, uncompromising and fundamentalist viewpoints that make it difficult for philosophy to grow, to progress, and to attain the needed maturity required of any true science. However, the present state of philosophy has taken a better turn. Since the late 50s, a sober kind of philosophy has been allowed to flourish. J.L. Austin once suggested, as a motto for a sober philosophy, the maxim, neither a be-all nor an end-all be. Austin's philosophy is not as influential as it once was, but there is a case for saying that much current philosophy does display sobriety of the kind that Austin recommended. The age of the philosophical be-all, in the sense of the builder of definitive and all-inclusive metaphysical systems, is past, but so too is the age of the end-all, in the sense of those who, like the logical positivists, thought that they were in possession of some general principle which would rule out of court as meaningless, whose region of language discourse, such as the language of the metaphysician or of the religious person. This age is one of philosophical tolerance, in the sense of a readiness to admit that the utterance which philosophers examine do at least make sense. At the same time, the tolerance is not boundless, in that the philosophers ask, granted that this makes sense, what justification is there for asserting it?